Good afternoon, everybody. We've got the UCLA, the Michael Price family, UCLA women's head basketball coach Corey Close, juniors Lauren Betts and Gabriella Hawkes. Coach, when you're ready for
You
your
bet.
statement.
First of all, thank you all for being here and for telling our stories, and it means a lot to us, and it's really important for growing our game. It's nice to see some of my East Coast friends here covering us. So, compliment to Baylor. They really had our attention in the preparation. I think they're you can't listen. They're a great example of not looking at rankings. They are a really good team, very versatile. Their guards get downhill, they get up under you defensively. That just compliment to them. They're gonna have a really good run into March. I think that my big challenge to our team this week was to compete with our defense. And I think we were settling for scoring points and trading baskets with people. And, Baylor averages 81 points, and we held them to 57. I thought we had some really good segments. In the first quarter alone, we had 4 kills, which is 3 stops in a row equals a kill. I thought we could have sustained that a little bit better, but more than anything else, there's lots of things to still grow through, lots of things that to improve. But the things I can't teach are a commitment to defense. They have to choose that. And then I've got players like Gabs who had 12 rebounds, 11 points, and 16 passion plays for us, and that's just huge. That ignited us right off the bat.
Corey, this week you guys have coming up. I mean, I don't know how often it is you have a 9-day or whatever it is road trip in the
Right.
season.
Right.
What's it like? Obviously, stuff going on in LA that's different.
Yeah.
But to be here to play this, play Rutgers, Maryland next.
I think that does 2 things. Well, maybe 3 if you include leaving LA when it's so hard right now, and it's a weird mix, right? On the one hand, we got to get away and be together, and on the other hand, you feel bad for leaving because there's just so much happening. But I knew that when I scheduled this, that this was going to force us to elevate our level of toughness and focus. And we're just going to have to suck it up. We know it's coming. So what does it mean to us? And how much are we willing to prepare? And in back-to-back situations, how tough and together can we be? And it's going to force that level in us. And, I'm like, bring that on. Let's force us to make those kind of choices. And the bottom line is, I hear so many people talking about the travel and the Big Ten or whatever. We're thrilled. We want to play in the best conferences in the country. We want the best competition that we can possibly have. And getting a chance to play in the Coretta Scott King Classic, as well as 2 quality road teams in Rutgers and Maryland on this trip, we're so thrilled. Let's go. And we want to be challenged in every way possible, and we're thankful to be a part. So, it's going to show who we are, and that's always good.
Lauren, question for you on Howard Magdalene. Two things really. One is that your mobility, your quickness seems to be at another level this year. Can you kind of take me through how that came about? And related to it, but a little different, is your decision-making process seems faster. It seems like you're cycling to decisions quicker. Take me through if that's also been sort of a major focus in how you came about it.
Yeah, well, first with the mobility part, I gotta give a shout out to Ash, our trainer, because he kicked our butts all preseason long. This summer, just working on fast sprints, just getting me moving a little bit, and I think that has to do a lot, with how I'm moving this year. So I gotta give a lot of credit to him and all the work that he put us through. And then decision making, I think that's just something that I've been working on all preseason. I think I just get a lot of reps in practice, and so I've just gotten used to it. But also my teammates, they just move so well off of me, and they've done such a better job of just like making those quick reads, and so it makes my job a lot easier. So yeah.
Yeah, Bill Hathaway from Local Talk. Lauren and Gabrielle, what is your feelings about playing in the first annual Coretta Scott tournament in Newark?
Yeah, just an honor that we get to play in the Coretta Scott King Classic on MLK Day, and I think it's just a really important time that we can reflect and remember all the things that the King family has done in the civil rights movement. So I told the team, I said, congratulations on being the first team to win in this classic. So, super proud of my team.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, just great opportunity for our team, and I'm just really happy that, we got the opportunity to have these amazing 4, obviously women's basketball teams playing on this amazing day. So just really honored.
Well, Gabs, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, losing back to back in the Sweet 16 is like sickening to me. Like to think about it, it really gets me mad and angry. And I think that Lennon and Kiki as well, we understand what that felt like, and we know what our team is capable of. And I think just coming into this season, knowing that we have a great team with great players, that it takes more than just being talented. So it's all about the toughness, the hard work, and all the little things. And I think also another thing to add for our team is that we're a lot older this year and we have a lot of experience. And that does play a huge part into playing good in tough situations and tough basketball games. So, yeah, it's a lot of things, but I'm just super proud of this team and I love being on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that I've said a couple times that last year's, and every year's a little different, but last year's would be in my top 5 hardest losses of my career. And I didn't feel like I was the best version of myself for the sake of the team. And it was just as important for me to get better and to be hungry to improve just as much as I expect it from them. And so I think the combination of this team wants to be the best for each other. And then we recruited some really good players, and so added to our combinations. I think from our transfers, but also our freshman class. I think they have just really been important puzzle pieces in what we're trying to build. And so we always say that all we really want to talk about is how our character is growing, because we know our talent only talks about our floor. And our character and habits are what are going to determine our ceilings or determine a different result in come March that we had last year. And so bottom line for us is that we are only focused on giving to each other, growing, and increasing our character. Passion plays, yeah. It's really what makes us go. We have a goal to have 75 plus in a game, and it's all the things that don't show up in a stat sheet. So it's a deflection. It's an assist screen. Your screen gets your teammate open. An assist box out. You box somebody out and someone else is able to run it down. 50-50s, out of area rebounds. Those kinds of things that nobody else except our family. Last game, our passion player of the game was Lauren. And just to have, I thought it was so evident right off the tip that Gabs was just so ready to do all the dirty work. And, we needed that grit. We've been really challenging our team. We obviously have a lot of skill and great pieces, but I don't think we've been playing gritty enough. And I thought that Gab set the tone for us to play grittier. That's a great question.
Sorry. Every time I'm on a team, I just want to do what I can to help the team win, and whatever my role is, I invest in that and I try to get better at that. And I think this year, being an upperclassman and having more of a leadership role, I just really take pride in that, and I really want to help my team, whatever that is, talking more, rebounding, and I just, again, could not be so proud. And it's just been so fun this season, and I can't wait for more games.
Yeah. Hi, John.
You just kind of spoke about not looking at the record and not looking at the rankings. Coming up, you got a tough team coming up out here in Jersey.
Yeah.
The record probably doesn't represent how tough that team is.
Yeah.
And,
But the film does.
I was going to say you guys are getting prepared to go against one of the most exciting players in the country right now, freshmen. If you guys could both explain or just kind of talk about the preparation and how excited you guys are.
Yeah, and probably Lauren hasn't watched any games on Rutgers yet, because we really try to focus on being 1-0, right? And I had a chance. I'm on a committee with USA Basketball to see Miller play when she tried out for the team. I think it was last summer. But she's so explosive. She's so fun with the ball, and she just does some really creative things. And I love players that play the game like an art project, not a scientific formula. And she's definitely one of those. And I think you're absolutely right that their record is not representative of the quality of their team. And so as I've watched watched film. I've just started actually this morning, starting to get ready to be able to prep for them, and they really are very, very good team. And I have so much respect for their head coach, and I've known her for a really long time, and I think that they're building something really solid, and we better be ready to play when we go in there.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go into this game the same way we do every single game. We're going to prep to the best of our ability. We're going to push each other in practice, hold each other accountable, to make sure that we just hold the standard. And, you know, it doesn't matter about the rankings at this point. We're trying to be the best version of ourselves.
She should have answered first. That was way better.
Hey, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Just to follow up on what Jackie was asking, to me, Gabrielle is like the complete ball player. Things that stood out today was the incredible hustle, but also the passes. Very smart, solid passes. Can you talk a little bit more in depth about that?
Well, I think that she's a winner. And I'm not talking about winning at the end of the game. I'm talking about winning us more possessions. I'm talking about, like, she understands what we're trying to get accomplished when we leave timeouts. She understands. You notice we put her in a lot of positions where she's feeding the ball to the post to Lauren. And that's intentional, right? Because she makes some really good decisions that way. And what I love about it is that she could care less what the stats say at the end of the game. She could care less about who gets the credit. And she's just a winner. And that is more important to her than anything else. And so we're just so lucky to have her in our program. But I actually have to say that about our entire team. That's one of the things. I mean, London Jones is here. We had several players step up at different times. And it's never the same couple players. And I think that it starts with someone like Gabs that's so selfless that she just doesn't care as long as we win. And I think that permeates the rest of the team. And we have a phrase that they roll their eyes at me all the time when we say, but sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. And I think tonight you really saw the benefit of our depth. You know, there's some players. I thought Janiyah Barker was really solid for us tonight. And that was one of her most solid games she's played. And it wasn't some other players' night. But that's what depth gets you, is that when you have a couple players that have an off night, we have players that are ready to step up and make plays. But honestly, I think that mentality started with Gabs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, never. One time at the beginning of the year, saying, well, what do you want to be different? Where do you want to be in March, and how do you want it to be different? And then we reverse engineer that. And then I don't really care about what happened last year in March or even what's going to happen in March. I care about the habits that we agreed on that are going to take us there. And so I actually never talk about it because I think sometimes that can be a distraction. That was last year's team. And, I'm a big believer that how present we are, like fear or doubt or anxiousness lies in regret from the past or fear of the future. And so if you are solidly in the present, just focusing on getting better that day and giving to your team, that's where the good stuff really happens. And so I actually don't want to talk about it at all with them. I just want to talk about how good can we be in the present. Yeah.
What kind of offensive changes are you looking for to take care of the ball?
Well, the bad news is we had tons of turnovers, and I think they had 19 points off of our 11 turnovers in the first half. But the good news is a lot of those were offensive fouls. So they weren't live ball turnovers, so they didn't fuel their fast break as much. Because that was our number one key, besides rebounding, was slowing them down in transition. And so we need to just do a much better job making decisions. But I would think that some of those, I didn't really agree with some of those offensive fouls, but the reality is, even though it was an empty possession, we got to set our defense. But it's got to be, we need to be under 12 every game, bottom line. And so 18 is just way too much. But the only reason that it made it palatable and that we were able to still get the win is that most of them were dead ball turnovers.
Lauren, 7 blocks last game, career high 9 blocks. This game, you're the sole owner of the school single game blocks record. What was your mindset? What were you looking for on the defensive end today?
Just stop. Don't let the ball go in the basket. That's really it. Just doing everything I can to help the team get stops at the end of the day. That's my whole mentality, and the stats are there. But, I mean, today I honestly just wanted to stop any drives that get to the paint, and it's what happened. So, yeah.
Gabriella, 13 rebounds.
Yeah, the main key of the game was rebound and box out. So that's what I did. And I just felt like I could just go in and grab the ball, and the ball was bouncing my way. And sometimes that happens in games. So just really trying to be aggressive on the rebounding end, especially like when they're trying to box out Lauren a lot and trying to double her. I have more freedom to do that. But yeah.
Again, really appreciate you guys being here and helping us grow our game. It's really important. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we have Coach Collin here on Little Page Cubs and Bella Faulkner for you. Coach, you can start us with an opening statement, then we'll open it for questions.
Yeah, there's a reason why UCLA is number 1 in the country. They're efficient offensively. Their analytics defensively are really, really impressive. But I thought we did a lot of the right things to give ourselves a chance today. We missed some layups we usually make. We missed some open threes we usually make. But I will say this. I think when you have someone like Lauren Betts at the front of the rim for much of the game, you rush your shot. You know, you mishandle the drop pass that you normally catch and lay in because you're like, I got to catch it and go up really quickly. So I think a lot of our misses can still be attributed to them because they speed you up a little more than you want to because of their length. We thought we could neutralize Betts a little bit with Von Lay, but her foul trouble never allowed that to happen. So I thought Kyla and Kayla really battled. But ultimately, like, I think if we get Nettie's typical game, then that game would have been a close finish rather than a 15-point game. But these guys played their tails off. They played a ton of minutes, and I'm super proud of how we competed here.
From that offensive perspective, how much did you see was this is simply a Lauren Betts, this is a thing you kind of throw out, she is a one-of-one, and how much of the offense is, there are some things you're looking to correct? This has been a top 20 offensive team all year by efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, I think we tried at times to get Lauren away from the rim. Some of our actions pulled her out. Our zoom actions were pretty good, drawing her away from the rim. But I thought we still kind of missed even when it was just Barker in there, and just because they fly to the ball. But I think, she blocked 9 shots. She had a near triple-double tonight. And I don't think we obviously had an answer without Nettie at the defensive end of the floor for her. And so, we didn't have the ability to neutralize her. I thought Kayla coming in and making a couple threes, one of them was probably too late, relative to keeping us in the game. But I thought the first one she hit, we started slow, obviously, and kind of chipped away at it. And I thought she gave us a ton of good minutes for that reason.
Just to sort of continue on what went right, the 26 points off of turnovers, just how do you have sort of a set number in mind of like what you are looking to get, generally speaking, and even in this game specifically?
Yeah, I think when you think about turnovers, we only had 6 steals. So we didn't necessarily create all these like numbered break opportunities, but they take away opportunities for others. And I think when you think about possession, when you don't shoot it as well, you got to create more possessions. You got to take possessions. So to compete with them on the glass was really special. I thought we really, really competed on the glass and got ourselves extra possessions. Did we turn enough of those into second chance points? No, once again, because of their size at the rim. But I thought we got our team extra possessions just with our effort, our intensity, our pursuit of the ball. When you combine that with turnovers, then you take away high efficiency opportunities. Lauren can't get a shot. Kiki can't get a shot. I thought the X factor tonight was Jaquez. Like, I just thought her ability to get them going early and then her attack and pursuit of the offensive glass really was the difference maker. We knew Lauren was going to be good. Like, we thought we could neutralize her a little more than we did, but I thought Jaquez really gave them outstanding play.
There were moments in this game where we were able to trim down UCLA's lead to 5 points, and it looked like maybe a momentum swing was coming. Is this one of those games that, as much as it sucks to lose, it might even be like an inflection point in the season because of the way and the spurts that the team played?
Yeah, I think these guys should be confident. I mean, we turn around and we play TCU this week, so we've got multiple shots at top 15 teams coming up over the next month, and Sedona Prince is pretty tall too. So we're gonna see back to back like a lot of length at the front of the rim, and they play differently. Lauren and Sedona play very very differently offensively, but I think this does it has a chance to truly make us a more confident, better team. Because I do think if we make a couple of the plays, a couple of the free throws, a couple of the things that we are capable of doing, then all of a sudden we're in a 2-3 possession game, and I'm getting to use my timeouts to draw stuff up to get us in things that we need to get into, rather than just like really trying to play fast, to kind of make a run, where you're kind of in not panic mode, but you're not playing to your true system when you're down 15 or 17 points with 4 minutes to go. So chaos can be good, but it's not really where you're going to thrive consistently. So, I mean, I think if what we did without Nettie on the floor, I was really, really proud of these guys. Really proud of these guys. And these two of these guys are right here.
Do your players want to chime in about how this could, be a launch pad moving forward?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a lesson learned. Like, we're going to take we maybe didn't do so good for this game and just take it to the next game and here on out. We do have these next couple games coming up, and we're probably going to really get detailed about what things we could have done better and how to, because they have somebody tall, move with them, move the ball, and where we can score at.
I also would add to that, I think more than anything, this game shows our versatility at so many different positions. We have a lot of people who can come in and guard a lot of positions. We can switch. We have the ability to go over under on screens. Like, we know our personnel really well, and we know our scouts, and we're always really prepared. I think taking that from this game, and then also offensively, you see just momentum. Like, whenever we aren't in our system, we still find a way to score. We still find a way to get a stop in a transition layup. We're still finding each other at the rim. There's still a lot of really good things happening. So just carrying that forward and building from it.
To jump off of that point, how effective are the switches in generating the opportunities for you guys to go and draw offensive fouls? Or something you did several times in this game, and at times that could potentially have shifted momentum. Again, if the shots were falling the way you normally do.
I would say just as long as we're aggressive whenever we do it. If we back off, it gives them opportunity to kind of get back into position of scoring or making the next pass. But as long as we go into it and we're like, okay, we're going into it with I'm going to jump up and guard the ball, or I'm going to get a steal, like we usually get a steal or deflection. So those are usually pretty big for us.
I'm just saying as her, like, just being aggressive. I mean, it gives us a chance. So you can correct mistakes, but if you're not aggressive from the jump, it's kind of hard to kind of get in that mode. So just being aggressive first and fixing those mistakes along.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering what you see, if you see a comp, or if you see sort of a good fit in the
Yeah, I think that's a really good comp. I think, obviously, like, Rebecca Allen's super bouncy, and so, she can bound into a curl, coming off a screen. So I think when you think about a little bit of a 3-and-D type player, that's going to get you extra possessions, you probably got to be a little bit more of a high-volume three-point shooter. But I do think comp-wise, like as she continues to get better in that area, I think the intangibles are there. I think she competes. I mean, we wanted to straight line driver, and at times we were effective with that. These guys both drew a lot of fouls against them, attacking baseline. But I think that's where, I think when it comes to size versatility in the pros, it always comes down to can you bounce back on a pin down and hit the three? Can you curl if they're locking and trailing? Can you take the alternate cut and finish at the rim if they top block you? So, but I think she's definitely got the potential.
It means a lot, especially playing on MLK Day, but just being selected, and a lot of people got selected, but just being selected to play in this, that just shows like people were thinking of us, and that's huge for us. This is a huge opportunity all around, so I'm just happy to be one of the people that got to do it first.
Yeah, to add to that, I think you put that really well, Bugs. But just being able to be trailblazers and be a part of something new, you know, Dr. King and his wife both sacrificed so much of themselves for opportunity for everybody. And to be able to have an opportunity within just sport based off of all of the work that they've done and the legacy that they've left behind, it's been really awesome to be a part of the first one and hope to be a part of it again.
Yeah, when I committed to play in this, I didn't know UCLA was going to be undefeated and #1 in the country, and we actually committed to it before they pulled in the hall in the transfer portal. But I think it was an amazing experience for our team, even to come to New York and go to Carmine's and see Hamilton, and then really have this be an opportunity to build culturally our program. But also to remember why we have these opportunities. And, I coached The Dream, which was obviously founded on Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. And so I think any ways that we get to honor him with what we do and his example is really, really special. So grateful for the opportunity, grateful to play on the stage, that Fox picked it up. Playfly was really involved in this. So really grateful to all those people for making this happen for us and for all 4 teams. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Well, first, thank you all for being here, and just appreciate the opportunity to play today on this special day. Really proud of my kids, y'all. Boy, they were really special today. I think my wife said it walking in here best. We played so well together as a team today. Just shared the ball, seemed to really have great chemistry. When they opened in zone, we were ready for that. I thought we'd flip the floor, got booked some great looks in the short corner. I thought Rory ran her team well today, had 0 turnovers in the second half, did what she's supposed to do, and then we got booked some really good looks, and they both played like the All-Americans that they are. I thought we really, really executed, and then I thought the press was really good. I thought our defense was outstanding the first half. We ran into a little foul trouble with Amo, and Jakalinga comes in and gives us some quality minutes. So I'm just really, really happy for our players, and I'm proud of them. Y'all, we talked about what did we learn a week ago. It was not fun. And, you learn something about your team. I told them before, in pregame, I learned something about my team every day. And every game, I'm anxious to see how we respond. We had a really bad hangover Tuesday and Wednesday before we played Auburn on Thursday. Did not practice well. I didn't think we played very well at Auburn, and had 17 turnovers, but still found a way to win. And then coming here, we were back to having those good days of practice. We had 4 great days leading up to Alabama and South Carolina, then 2 really bad leading into Auburn, and then we've had 2 really good leading into this game. So I just I'm proud of them. That's a really good team over there, y'all. Offensively, I haven't slept for 2 nights worrying about how to guard all their stuff and how good they are. Coach does such a great job with them, and to know that we held them to 6 points in the second quarter, 18 at half, and you don't do that not playing your guts out, not playing hard, not playing connected. I think we had forced 15 turnovers at halftime. So I'm proud of these kids, man. They played really, really hard today. Took some good charges. I'm really proud of them. I'm excited about the opportunity now going into Thursday.
It's funny because before this game, the MLK Junior documentary came on TV, and me and Bree she's my roommate, and we were in the hotel, and we were locked in because that story is amazing. Like, to see how passionate he was, whatever he did, and with whatever he did just throughout the history. And I think today you saw how much passion we played for that special day and for him and his wife. So we're just honored to play today on this day and this great tournament that it was for, and it's great to learn about that history as well.
Yeah, no. Just today's like a very special day, of course. Just the history behind it, just like the exposure from on this day at this tournament. Just the kids coming out. Also, I think we kind of inspired, young kids. So I think that's what it's all about. It's inspiring. So this whole day is about who can you inspire. So I think we kind of fulfilled that goal today.
I mentioned last week about talking about Dr. King and his bravery and his fight, like the servant leader. I try to impart on these kids all the time about what makes a great leader. And it's somebody that's a servant leader that is always thinking about someone else other than themselves. This event is named after his wife, so I want y'all to think for a minute. We all know the bravery that he went through and the things that he had to deal with as he did what he did. But think about his wife. That's what this event was named after, right, Coretta? And think about her bravery every day, knowing that when he walked out the door, knowing that what his passion was, what he was trying to get done in the world at a time when the world was fighting it. Think about her bravery. Think about her toughness. And so for me, I wouldn't have, we wouldn't have done anything on this day other than play in this event on this day. And to me, it was really an honor. And I've tried to impart that to our players. They're young. They don't probably know the history. I grew up in that time. I know the history, but I know it, and I respect it because of my family, because of how I was born and raised by the colonel, and understanding what country and doing the right thing. It's always the right time to do the right thing. And so it was really an honor. We really appreciate being invited to this great event. And again, hopefully we did it justice. We honored the day.
Congratulations. Just one for each of you players. Madison, to start, your time as point guard last year, I know it's sort of an unexpected thing. And I'm wondering, as you played now this season, whether it's changed the way you looked at the floor and whether it's kind of altered the way in which you get your teammates involved.
Yeah, I think, just being a point guard last year, I think I learned a lot of things, one, maturity, like on the court, two, how to read plays. I think now, my sophomore year, I'm taking that to the wing, and I think I'll be a point forward for my team. A point forward for my team. And I think a 3.4, whatever coach want to say. But I think just this year, taking that maturity I learned from last year and just helping Rory just make reads on the court. Just from that position, I can see things too. I can kind of help her with it. And I think it's working good. I mean, we work hand in hand together.
And Rory, for you, just, as you've come back, so much of your game you've returned. And I'm just wondering, as you sort of think about it on an individual, skill-by-skill basis, what are the ways in which things are back where you wanted them before your injury, and how, what, if anything, are things you want to get back to that you feel like are not quite there?
Yeah, so I have this life coach in a way. He said something to me a couple games ago that's basically stuck with me, that my whole goal right now is not to get back to where I was before. It's to be better than who I was before. Person, player, basketball isn't my whole life. It's not who I am. It's just what I do, and I'm so grateful. Just the other day, I just hit a whole year post-op surgery, so it's not something I think about on a day-to-day basis because it's over. Yes, I have to wear something that reminds me of it every day, but we are here. I'm playing on the court. I'm doing what I can do, and I'm just grateful to have that so much support and so much confidence from my teammates and coaches and just the whole program just to will me back into playing basketball again. So, thanks.
I'm curious what allowed
I think like to my point guard, Rory Harmon's over here to my left. I mean, she ran the plays perfectly. Just the speed, the intensity she came on court with the plays. We were all kind of, just in motion. The screens were great. I think our cuts were amazing. Then also I think for us, it translates from defense to offense. So I think that kind of helps us a lot, like on that end right there, just, knocking down shots and stuff like that. So I really think my teammates, really not all about me. I mean, I caught the ball and, made the shot, but I just think my teammates for it, especially Rory.
Well, again, I think you learn from that experience, and we had that a week ago. And so I think for them, my job is I got to coach better, teach better. I got to put them in positions. I mean, when she runs our team like she did today, when Booker plays like the All-American she was a year ago and does that, I mean, we got her some really good looks today, and she made them. She made shots. And I just think that when you have two guards like this, when this is where you start, there's not many teams across the country that start with two All-Americans like these two. I mean, really. And so for them, again, I wrote it on the board today. What did we learn a week ago? And so we have to understand, I'm always, sometimes I have to remind myself and remind them, and I did remind them today, you know what? You guys are pretty good. When we do, like, we're one of the best shooting teams I've ever had. Maybe not, you're going, well, Vic, you don't make a lot of threes. Well, we don't, but we don't have to. But why would we turn the ball over if we get a shot off? 1 out of 2 are going in. Like, we're shooting 50% as a team on the year. Why do we want to make 50-50s passes? Why do we want to do that and put ourselves in a position when if we'll just be solid and patient? Like, I thought we were really patient today offensively. So I think for these two, it's growth. She's been out a year. A long time, and Book's getting everybody's best shot. She's in a different league, completely different style of play. And so she's seeing some different things that she didn't see last year. Even though if she might be at a different position, she's still seeing some different things. And so it's just, she's 19. I mean, I think people lose sight of that. She's been out a year. She's 19. Like, give them a break. They're doing great. And I have to remind myself sometimes, like I wrote, they're going to have a paper at the end. They're going to write down pros and cons of us, pros and cons of themselves personally. And they'll give it to me on the plane tonight. And then I'll answer it, and like a teacher, I'll grade it and write some notes on there. And Rory, y'all see what Rory's, I'll give you, tell me another point guard in the country that does what she does. Picks up 94 feet. From the minute that ball goes through, she is on you-know-what, like stink on you-know-what. You tell me who else in the country's doing that. Nobody. And yet last week I wrote on her paper, hey, you look tired tonight. How's your conditioning? And I had to, like, butt my head in the wall when I thought about what I wrote and go, the kid's unbelievable. And she's a year post-surgery. It was a year like the 17th. And I have to remind myself, Book's getting everybody. She's the first thing on the scouting report. We're in a different league. It's different. It's physical. Like, you got to cut them some slack. They're 19. And I'm not just talking about, me. I cut them a lot of slack. I'm talking about everybody else. Just let them be. They're kids. Let them be. Let them enjoy the game. Because they're pretty good kids and they're a hell of a player. They're really good players. So, yeah.
Yeah, if we had played together all of last year, it would be pretty interesting. But that didn't happen, and unfortunately, I didn't play and got hurt, whatever. But I just think, anytime I get this question, I just think she's not even, like, she is not even a point guard. And I always thought to myself when I was sitting out that she did better than any of the point guards in the nation last year. And she had been thrown in that position as a freshman, and she did better than anyone that I've seen yet. And so, it's what she said earlier about maturity. She, like, had to grow up super fast. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we got to wait till next. No, she had to do it immediately, like the day after I got injured, or the day of, actually, because it was a game. So she had to hurry up and figure it out. And I think she did it perfectly. I mean, yes, she learned through the process, but now I can see what she saw. Like, I can see what she's seeing now. As the game goes on, I can see, like, I learned a lot from her. That's what people don't understand either. Like, yeah, she learned a lot from me, but I was sitting on the sideline watching her play. So I learned a lot from her, and I think now we both combined what we've learned, and we're producing on the court now and beating a top 8 team. So I think she's incredible, and she's doing great. Like she said, point forward, the 3-player playing the point guard. That's what she's doing immediately. 0 turnovers today. So, I mean, she's doing great. So, yeah.
I'm Maddie Kenny with the New York Post, and this question for both players. In a lot of ways, you guys are like the anchors of this team, and you really set the tone on like how far Texas is going to go this season. A lot of it is on you guys setting that example and that tone. Just how much pride do you take in having that type of responsibility as leaders?
He cuts us a lot of slack, but I think we're super hard on ourselves, truthfully. And we kind of need to take it back a notch and realize, like, we're still doing great things. Like, we probably going to film next day, and all we care about is what we did bad. That's all we care about. And so I think that's just what makes us great. And we understand that this, the responsibility and how much energy that we should bring to the team, because it's going to permeate. But at the end of the day ends, and so we have to move on to the next play and realize, like, our team needs us to stay in the game and keep a steady head. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely what Rory said. I think both of oh, my gosh, I'm sorry. I think both of us are so hard on ourselves, just thinking that we haven't did enough for our team. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we're human. It's going to happen. Like, we're going to make mistakes. Like Rory says, the day ends. So, next play, keep moving on. But, I mean, that's kind of how leaders work. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves that, we forget that we're human too. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that our teammates are looking up to us. So if we're kind of like, looking kind of mad because, we're not doing well, we have to remember that we have people behind us, like, looking at us. So we have to keep a great attitude. So, I mean, I think we took a lot of pride in that.
Hey, the biggest thing that came out of that is that they both said that I cut them some slack. I'm glad to know that they feel that way.
I didn't say that.
Hey. I do want to say one thing. The coaches do a great job in preparing us for every single game. I don't know what the other coaches on other teams are doing, but we do it better in preparing. And so they're just up tirelessly every night preparing us. Shout out to Lovato. She had the scout tonight. Yep. We'll never get 99% from any one of our coaches. So, yes, sometimes they take accountability when we're not ready, but we're the ones that step on the court and need to come to play because our coaches will always be prepared.
Thanks, Rory. Appreciate y'all's coverage.
Clock
Thank y'all
it.
for being here today. And y'all travel safe. Praise the Lord and hook 'em horns.
Say clock it, Coach. Clock it. She clocked it.
Clock it?
Clock it.
Oh my
Clock
gosh.
it.
Clock it.
Teaching them this stuff.
Thank you. Thank y'all again.
The team losing Bree and then having Shy go down was also extremely painful to be going against a pressing team with limited guard play. But I thought the second half we tried to get a little bit better. I thought there were some good things to be able to take away, but Obviously, playing a top 10 team and losing 2 of your top 3 scorers is a tough pill to be able to swallow. But got to move through this quickly. We have 2 more ranked top 10 teams that we go back and play in conference play. So, being able to come back to the fixing some things and being ready to be ready to play.
We'll take a few questions for Kaylee so she can shower. Raise your hand. Stand in the back.
Yeah, Jalen, not really seeing you guys look outsized or like a team was too big for you this year, but there's not quite that today. Can you just speak to that? What you saw out there? Did they feel a lot bigger than other teams you guys have played, or what was your experience?
I don't think they felt like that much bigger. I just don't think we're doing little things like boxing out and trying to out jump them, which like we spoke about wasn't gonna work because they are like we matched up good with them and they're big, have bigger guards and they have also big posts. So I just feel like we just didn't do the little things.
Maddie Campbell with the New York Post. I just was curious, like losing both Bree and Shy, like how does that just complicate what you guys want to do on both ends of the court?
I mean, I think they're 2 important pieces to the team and having to adjust, mid-game losing. I mean, this is our first game without Bree, and that's hard. She brings a defensive energy off the bench and offensive that we needed. So I think, and Shy too, losing her, I think we just have to regroup and just try to work it. Just try to fix things and how we can do it.
Take one more for Kaylee, then Matt.
You talk about in this stretch, knowing that you're playing all these top-ranked teams. Can you talk about how you move forward after this game, knowing it was a bad loss, but just going forward and leaving in the past?
I think we just need to learn from it. You can't win every single game, and I think it's going to be a learning experiencing. And now we know what we need to learn from and what we need to work on moving forward because we have 2 big games coming up.
Thanks, Kaylee. We'll take questions for Chris, please. And in the middle.
So obviously most teams play typically against defense. We've got a lot of short corner, mid-range jumpers. One of you is up the rim, inside the rim. What exactly was the difference between hitting those, hitting what you gave and what we're actually intending to do?
Yeah. I think that was a disappointing piece to start the game because it's not what we repped over the last 2 practices. And we wanted to take away those short corners and the overloads and really make them have to score from the perimeter, and we didn't do any of that well. So that got us out of the zone to have to go to man. I mean, we knew they're a team that only averages 3 threes a game, so being able to take away their inside versus their outside game, which isn't as strong. So I think that was probably the most disappointing piece was to start the game just, for whatever reason, not being able to lock in defensively, which we've been good at so for all year. But again, I mean, you lose your best defensive player in Bree that we've had 2 practices to work through. There's not a lot of time right now when you're in these type of games where you're doing now 1-game preps with the schedule that lies ahead for us. So it's really difficult to be able to kind of get those practice reps when you don't have them at play.
Just first understand Shy, anything that you know at this point?
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, it was her right knee, made contact. She'll be evaluated by the doctor tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But sorely missed. She's such a competitor, and to be able to lose that piece so early into the game was impactful.
Sure. I just wanted to ask you about Christine, if I could.
Yeah.
The efficiency around the rim is dramatically improved already with what you're seeing this year. I'm just wondering, is it where you want it to be? And what's been the critical change for her to be able to do this? She's effective field goal percentage north of 52% this year. It was 44 last year.
Yeah. For her, it's, she's always had the motor and the talent. It's been the confidence. And I think, this is a staff that pours into her, that believes in her, and, just seeing the confidence and the level that she's playing with. I thought she did a great job of really trying to lead us tonight when Shy went down, and really being extremely positive and fought, I thought, every minute that she was on the floor.
I got 2 for you, brother. Just losing Bree, is there anyone particularly kind of look to step up or fill some of her minutes by the next few weeks?
Yeah, yeah. You're not going to replace a player like Bree, like we spoke of as a team. Is everyone has to just do a little bit more, and that's a little bit more on the defensive end and locking in. Maybe 2 more points by each player when you lose your third leading scorer. And so they don't have to. One player doesn't have to do it. It's got to be by committee. Yeah, she's just so talented, so versatile. We wanted to take away her going left, and she went left all night. Got to any spot she wanted to, and she's just a fearless competitor, and you can see why she had so much success. Yeah, I mean, her size, her versatility, her ability to be able to get her shot off anywhere she wants. She's, such a, you look at tonight as well. I mean, she had, 3 assists, no turnovers, 2 steals, very versatile. But she's an elite level scorer and, a really difficult matchup to be able to defend. Guard play. I mean, we've got about 7 forwards on the bench, and we've got like one guard coming off. So, against a pressing team, you got to be able to have ball handlers, and we tried to change up, our press breaks, especially at half, and little to none was working. So, just again, with the 1-day prep moving forward, let's see what we can adapt to in 1-day practice to get ready for Ohio State. But it's impactful. You're not going to, we're going to have to find ways to, get on the glass and get to the free throw line, find different ways as we're in this little place right now with limited guard play. No one's going to feel sorry for us. So you just got to figure out to find a way. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get too high or too low. We've won whatever our record is. It's not on the stat sheet. 16 games. And, we've done that the right way. We've had 2 losses, and clearly this one has been impacted by injury. So, for us, it's just understanding we're not going to get too high or too low in January, and we're going to figure it out. We always do. It's unfortunate that this stretch is where the big put us coming off of this game in our bye week. But again, it is what it is, and you're on to the next. Now it's Ohio State, 2 teams that are coming off of losses, so it's going to be prideful for both teams, and then coming back to home with UCLA. Well, she said she could go, so she gave it a try, and then she said she couldn't. So, she tried. She's a competitor, tried to go out there and fight for her team, but then, she said it didn't feel right. So, there's a bigger picture in mind. Thank you.